Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today is March 30th, 2021, and today's news is brought to you by Downtown Camera, an independent photography store located in Toronto, Canada, in operations for more than 40 years. While they carry a large selection of digital goods, they aim to carry a widest selection of film and affordable film processing in Canada. You can join the AMFM Club and get 25% off Kodak Film and Chemistry and 10% of other brands. I'll leave the link below. And also, I want to give a shout out to those people that are actually customers of Downtown Camera. A couple of you guys wrote in last week's news. It's pretty cool to see you guys watching and the store sponsoring. So thank you, Downtown Camera, for sponsoring the news. As I said, I'll leave the link below. So I'm going to start off with a quick little Patreon thing. And I know don't want to talk about Patreon too much, but I did an update video on currently things behind the scenes for this YouTube channel. So if you are a Patreon or you have been and you want to watch it, you can send me a message. I'll happily send it to you. It's kind of an update on the channel, what's going on. For the rest of you guys, it will be coming out very soon, but just want to give a heads up for those Patreons that watch the news but don't maybe go on Patreon at all. And thank you for the support so far. So there's a little update from the Leicavit copy, which is called VIT, like the Leicavit, only VIT, for the M6, M7 MP, which I mentioned last week. A gentleman wrote me saying that basically there's news that batch was only for internal use, which there was like over 100 of those, I would say. So I guess there's a lot of people that want to internally use them, but there'll be ones available for people very soon. And then he did give me some good news. There's supposedly a second version, second run of the 35 millimeter V1 copy of the Leica, the Summicron, which is coming out. And he says the second version will have better built quality. The first batch sometimes suffers quality control issues and uses a more environmentally friendly glass as an element instead of lead in the glass of the first batch. Yes, the image quality is the same. That's what he says. And then there's other things they're mentioning here. They're going to be making the IROA lens hood that fits both the lens live tab and the original Summicron. I have the original Summicron. Maybe I should get that lens hood. And there's more things that they've sent to me in an attachment, which I'll put in the screen here. And there's prices for different lenses and Safari version and Chrome version, and I don't know. There's a nano resistant coating, all these kinds of things. You can go to the website. There's a lot of information there. This is not an ad for them, basically. But they're also bringing back, or want to bring back or make, the famous Hologon 15mm f8. And they want to do the Elcan 50mm f2, the ones that are sold with the KE7A US military M4. And I'm reading all this because it's impossible to memorize. I need a teleprompter, guys. And plans to making it weather sealed, which is pretty cool. So there's a bunch of stuff coming from these people that are making, rebirth of copies of Leica stuff, which is pretty cool. Then talking about copies, there's been a Supreme Yashica collaboration for the MF1 reloadable, reusable camera. It looks like a disposable, but it's a reusable camera. You guys know Yashica sort of lost its soul and now is just a name that puts things like the Digifilm and this MF1. You want to go check out some reviews of the Digifilm camera. I think it was the Y35. And how great that came out, and that's sarcasm if you didn't get it. But yeah, Supreme, the brand I think located in New York, which basically slaps their brand on anything and it turns into gold, have made this. It sold out already. I think the price was going to be like $64. It's just the same camera as the Yashica MF1, but just says Supreme on it. So if you're a Supreme fan, which I know there's a lot of people, go ahead and fight for it because there's going to be a lot of people selling them secondhand or brand new, but in the secondhand market for a lot of money. If you don't know anything about Supreme, just skip this news. Then there's an update from Heiland software, Heiland Enlargers and color heads and analyzers and split grades. Well, he's done a software update for the split grade. It's the software update 3.9. This is super geeky. And corrections were made in the calculation of gradation and exposure time. This is particularly interesting for users of LED cold light sources. These changes also have a positive effect when negatives are enlarged with very little or very high contrast. just in case. If you guys have a Heiland split grade machine, you can update to 3.9. I'm sure he sent you an email already, but just in case. Then we have the Kodak full year. I wrote full yeah. The full yeah 2020 financial results are up, and you can check out how great they did or how great they did not. I'm not going to get into specifics. 2020 was probably one of the weirdest years we are all going to see so far. So we know how things have gone. Then we have something that's extremely cool, and this is coming from Cameradactyl. Ethan Moses has sent me, he sent it to me last week, but I couldn't talk about it, so what was the point for that? The BoopBoop trigger. And I have to give Ethan credit for his naming. It's always the most original and hilarious, both in the same way. And this BoopBoop trigger, and he says it's so funny when he says it, he's made a video and all, is basically like a control box for digitizing mounted slides. So if you're one of those people, and I could sort of include myself, that has hundreds of slides that are mounted, this is something nobody really does nowadays. Not that nobody does it, but nobody, very little amount of people do it. But if you have one of those grandfather collections, granddad collections, grandma collections, because of course there's granddad photographers and grandma photographers, and you want to digitize this, you know what it is, the pain of putting each little thing into your Epson holder or your Reflecta scanner and whatnot. So this little controller box works with a carousel, and you kind of have to cut some wires and do some stuff, and basically you can control the slide projector. So each time a slide comes in, it tells the camera, take a snapshot, then it advances to the next one, and you can customize the times of like between slides change, the exposure time, the time it waits for, all these kind of different things. And then it can also be, I think it does the boop boop. I think it makes that noise when it finishes. I guess that's where it gets the name. And basically that, if you have a large amount of slides that are mounted and you want a device that can help you, you will need a carousel sort of thing, which I think he recommends a specific version, so you can go to the video and watch it. And you can scan all these, taking off the lens, using a digital camera, mirrorless camera, anything like that, and get them scanned this way, which is pretty cool. And honestly, dibs for, congratulations, Ethan, for making these, interesting tools. Then we have Rezivot has brought back the Polaroid 4x5 back. I refresh every week for the news, and it looks like they're coming back with the 4x5 back, which is for those Polaroid Pathfinder cameras, not the Nissan Pathfinder, the Polaroid Pathfinders, which used to use the that instant film that came like in a roll with it was all this weird film that's been out of existence for decades. But a lot of people use those for 4x5 because the lenses were off the shelf, raw in stock, if I'm not wrong. And basically, this Rezivot back, you pull out the original back, put this back, and it comes with a graph lock, and you have like the whole thing. So it's back in stock, and it comes in 2 colors just in case you desire a different color. Then there's been a little update on the Intrepid Enlarger, which is still on Kickstarter. And there's a lot of people concerned about shipping within Europe because, as you all know, the UK is now not part of Europe. So if you're shipping something from the UK to Europe, you get customs, custom fees, custom delays, custom everything. Everything is a pain in the butt custom. Well, Max and the team are going to be shipping these enlargers, the 35 and the 120, the one that's on Kickstarter, from Central Europe. So you won't have any customs to deal with or delays or anything like that, which is good news. I hope Max and the team, which are probably going to watch this, that you do this with other goods you sell already, because the 4x5 cameras, 8x10 and so on, if you order now, you have to deal with customs, which is a bit of a pain, even if they assume the cost, which I'm not sure about that. But just in case, you guys should consider having a distribution maybe somewhere in Europe. Then we have news in the camera world, a new film camera coming from Mr. Alvandi himself from Iran. Or Iran in Spanish. I think it's Iran in English. It's the Panoral 679. And this is, in his line of cameras, a very technical camera. So if you've ever seen a Cambo wide and you've seen a Alpa camera, this is like if they had a son and it did everything those cameras do, but together and great. So Alvandi's be making 4x5, 5x7, 8x10 cameras, and they're technical cameras. So they have like rise and fall, and they have a little bit of tilt, and they have like interchangeable lens cones and a proper helicals, and he does like film backs. Well, this is a 679, so a medium format camera, which has ground glass. You can focus, you can use 6x9, 6x7, 6x6 backs. And what's super cool, he also makes a ton of accessories for it, and they're not extremely expensive. They're not, Alpa expensive. The camera itself, let's consider it like a brain, is 925 euros, which is under 1,000 euros. Great price. And this is all like solid aluminum, CNC graded and all that. Like he anodizes it to black. I think that's how you say anonizado in Spanish. Sorry again, guys, Spanish gear. And then he sells the accessories. For example, he has a Hasselblad back holder for 180 euros. But what's cool about the Hasselblad is the Hasselblad back needs the camera to pin it to say, hey, you took a shot, advanced film. So what he's done is like a little lever on the side so you can shoot with the back on and then advance the film within, so you don't lose frames. You don't have to be using the older backs, which you have the little peep window. Honestly, Alvandi probably has some of the coolest solutions out there in the film camera market, which is not very big. But Alvandi, I really like what you do. I think it's great. Then we have news on the Rollei film, and I wrote this wrong. The Rollei film is sold mostly by Mako Direct and some other stores, but they now have a proper website called RolleiAnalog.com, and they have all kinds of information, brochures, downloads, data, stuff that you need maybe for the film curves and so on. So if you're a Rollei user and you want more information, now you have the proper website to contact them or download information that you might need. Then we have this is such a hard name, Zluxtech, or Zluxtech. They've made a Rollei Cord, Rollei Flex, Instax mini back. So they've basically engineered some sort of device that you take off the original door. I think this is not destructive, so you can remake it a normal camera again. And you can attach this Instax mini back for $369, but there's a catch. They've included some sort of lens inside to like cover for the infinity focus, and there's an issue with focus. And it's important you guys note, because don't go ahead and jump on it and buy it but without knowing this. The back needs simple focus compensation. Normal focus at infinity is 2 meters. Simple focus compensation is needed within 2 meters of focusing. 0.3 compensation is needed within 2 meter focusing. This is all their website, which is written by someone that obviously doesn't know a lot of English. For example, if the scale of the focusing button is 2 meters, you need to turn it to 1.7. So you're basically not seeing what you're focusing. You're kind of like guessing. So you focus at 2 meters, you have to compensate a little bit. So they say, please don't buy if you don't understand how to do this. And that's where I'll leave it. They also now make, and I hadn't seen this, probably been making for a while, a Bronica GS1 Instax square back, which is super exciting. And this one is $500-ish, $519 if I'm not wrong. And you can basically shoot Instax square with a Bronica GS1, which I own, and this is pretty cool. $500 is a little high for me to shoot Instax, but it's pretty cool. Then there's the new Android Lightmeter. Someone in Spain wrote me telling me there's a new Android Lightmeter that you can download, I think, for free, only for Android, no iOS. And I'll leave the link below. I don't have a lot of information, no longer an Android user myself. Sadly, not a big fan of what I'm using currently. And that's the news for this week. As always, thank you so much, Downtown Camera, for sponsoring the news. Thank you guys for watching. You can send an email to the email below if you have any information. Oh, quickly, I think Lomo Graphlog has had some delays, and I've had emails sent to me. Thank you guys that send those emails. I still don't know if it's for everybody. Maybe the early guys get it later, or only the later guys get it later. So let's say Lomo Graphlog will come, and please let me know when it gets there. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one. Bye.